What's cracking, everybody? XehrFelrose here, bringing you some Pokemon Go Battle League content. Today's video is a shoutcast in the Great League with a really strong-looking team here with Vigoroth and Goodra in the back with a Mantine in the front. Sent in to the channel by a trainer you've probably seen here a couple of times now. Our pal Nerd, thanks for sending in the battles. Trainers, if you'd like to send in battles to the channel for shoutcasting, there's a Google form in the description and pinned comment that you can go ahead and check out, fill out, and send in those battles. And let's get into the games here in this Great League. Now, these games were sent in the previous Great League rotation, so I wasn't able to get to them until now. But we're getting this first game into a Tentacruel. This is a very neutral lead here with Aerial Ace being a much quicker and not nearly as heavy-hitting move as the Tentacruel's arsenal. However, Scald is resisted in this matchup, so unless the opponent's packing Blizzard, which they aren't even building up to, they're going to go for the Scald. We're shielding the Scald. I don't think we shield the Scald there, but I mean, I see the vision, right? We want to win switch just in case what they have in the back. Maybe Nerd's reading that the team has something in the back that perhaps their backline might be good against. They want alignment, so that could be, I mean, it could be a good shield. I guess technically you have to shield one of them in order to win this matchup. I've never played this matchup before, so we're going to bank energy and we're going to swap out of the matchup here. Mantine's got two moves loaded. There's an acid spray that comes out and the opponent brings in their Gligar. This is not great for the Vigoroth being down a shield as well as having a defense debuff like that. Just one, even from a non-Shadow Gligar, one Aerial Ace is probably going to be enough here. If the opponent throws a Dig, I'd be very surprised. They probably go for the Aerial Ace here. That's actually not enough. The Body Slam is reached here, so Vigoroth's going to be able to do some damage before parting ways with this battle here. Now we're going to see the, I'm guessing that the Goodra probably comes back in here now, or comes in here, in order to absorb energy and also just farm down. It's got a very strong case to be made here against the opponent's Tentacruel, as it's very low. It's going to come down to what's in the back. They're going to get a full farm down. Opponent just sacrifices Tentacruel to the Goodra God. And in comes the Swampert. This trainer is not ready for all the energy that this team has to offer. These Aqua Tails are going to probably grab shields. The opponent probably not expecting Power Whip, but don't want to take too much damage because of the fact that the Swampert is Shadow. Gonna immediately be able to pop in with the Mantine. It might have even been more, well, I guess Water Pulse is the single heavier hitting move here, and the opponent would likely have gone for a move right away. Oh, right into the next game. Okay, hello. Terrible lead in this game here against a Lantern. We get the Vigoroth save swap. The opponent comes in with the Zoomer, and even though the opponent is a fairy type, this matchup is not as bad. Really nice timing here from Nerd, getting these moves off in the correct timing in the middle of that animation for the fast move here. And just if you're, less aware of what I mean by when I'm talking about timing, basically every move in Pokemon Go has a different duration of fast moves, and I have time to talk about this because this matchup's going to take a little while. Between 1 and 5 turns, or 0.5 seconds to 2.5 seconds. And being able to know how many of each duration move you can use into the other ones to maximize the efficiency of the energy and damage gained and whatnot is a very good skill to have in this game, because it allows everybody who is really trying to maximize their gameplay able to make that happen. Now, I think that the play here would have been to shield and try to win switch, because you've got a Mantine against a Lantern. There's no winning this game unless somehow Goodra's able to just completely clean house of both Pokemon involved. Now, Goodra's going to come in here, Lantern, and all right, well, we see a Skeledirge. Oh, and we're throwing an alignment. I was just talking about the good timing, and we threw it. Oh, the opponent gets an entire free Incinerate, and that could make the difference here in this matchup. Unfortunately for this Goodra, they're going to have to shield all the Disarming Voices and hope that these Incinerates don't add up nearly as much. We're going with, now this is the good timing here, right in the middle of the Incinerate. Now, it doesn't have to be pitch perfect every time. I'll tell, as a coach in this game, if anyone who is coming to me asking for timing advice, like if you get within like somewhere around 3 even of the Dragon Breaths, I'm down with that, because that sounds fine. Now, the unfortunate thing here is that because of that free Incinerate the opponent got through, the Goodra's forced to throw, whereas if that hadn't happened, they could have farmed all the way down without having to throw any energy. Might have had 2 Thunder Punches or close to it to get into this Lantern without needing to, have to worry about throwing energy or anything. So now the Goodger's going to go for the Hail Mary Thunder Punch. You wish you had Power Whip, but unfortunately not going to be enough. And then in comes the Mantine. Hopefully the Water Pulse is enough. Otherwise, this Lantern is just going to make absolute mockery out of it. No, we're so close. Wait, is that Thunderbolt? There's no way. They just threw a Thunderbolt, right? No! No, it's another Thunderbolt! Oh, if it was a Surf, that would have been a win. Unfortunate, but good game. Getting into the next game here, we've got Gligar on the lead on the opponent's side, and that's a good matchup for the Mantine. The opponent safe swaps into Lantern, and in comes Vigoroth. I definitely think that bringing in Vigoroth here does help keep it away from a negative matchup against the Gligar. But we bring in the Goodra here, and that would actually allow us to have energy after the matchup with which to threaten the Gligar. Because we resist all of the damage from Lantern, Goodra has a lot of room in that matchup to overfarm and come out with at least an Aqua Tail, maybe even two. And now in this matchup, unfortunately, the Vigoroth is forced to shield in order to try and flip switch, or win switch, I should say. And the opponent decides to let it go and save shield advantage. Their Shadow Gligar is going to come back in, but it will have to throw a move before the Body Slam is reached after this, I believe, because I don't think... Is it getting the farm down? Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no! It does! It gets farmed down! That's really unfortunate. Now it's going to have to come down to the Mantine coming in. No, the Goodra's going to come in. I would have brought in Mantine here just so that we wouldn't have to absorb a dig. Luckily, the opponent did decide to go immediately for an Aerial Ace here. And now it's going to be up to Goodra. Do we shield? We do shield again. The opponent gonna not be able to get to a move. The farm down is successful. And in comes Skarmory. And I think that this is this is going to be a very close game here. But I definitely would have probably baited with the Aqua Tail here. Just because the opponent's most likely to shield anyway. But, you know, in hindsight, you really are only going to get to 2 moves. So I guess going for the for sure damage or energy Thunder Punch here makes sense. Now we're going to go into the Mantine. The Mantine is able to absorb any 2 of Skarmory's moves, but if a Brave Bird is one of those moves, it's going to be very painful for it, unfortunately, and Goodra is too low to be able to help out with the rest of this game. So Mantine's got to put this all on its back. 1 Sky Attack, that's just about half. The opponent has max energy. That's going to be a good game. As the opponent gets to this Brave Bird, they're going to knock out the Mantine, and that's going to take it. Good game. A blast from the past in this next game here. Medicham and a Golbat safe swap. Okay. So, yeah, that's tricky because you get the 1-turn delay from the switch on the opponent's end. Now, I get wanting to go up to the Ice Beam to force a shield early here. But I think I would have gone for the Aerial Ace just to be able to neutralize that extra turn. And then we come in with Goodra. But the thing is, because we gave the Golbat so much extra energy now, they're going to be able to fire off this Poison Fang and get to another Poison Fang before Goodra can even get to a move, which is going to force the Goodra to shield here. Because Switch is probably one of the most important things in this particular game. Because we've got a Medicham on the lead and a Vigoroth in the back. You absolutely have to keep the alignment here. Now, could have gone up for a few more Dragon Breaths. The opponent does require 5... Wing attacks to get to that Poison Fang. But this is good now, because now you can see the alignment coming in play here. The opponent has a Bastiodon, Vigoroth has counter, and this is looking pretty much like a good game here. Now, we're going to have to see how the opponent wants to play this out. Very much still room for error in this game on either side. There we go, I got there. The brain is not working. It's early Sunday morning when I'm recording this, just because that's when I had time to do it this week. So, the opponent's going to be able to get to the Ice Punch here, and that means that this this Mantine's going to have to throw very quickly. This is a Charge Tech priority tie. Good to know that Medicham wins it. I haven't played that matchup because Medicham and Mantine weren't really in the same meta together for very long. But the opponent is able to outpace and get to this Ice Punch. But thankfully, there's energy saved on the Vigoroth for the Body Slam. That's going to hopefully be enough to knock out this Medicham. And then it's going to come down to whether or not the opponent's Bastiodon can get to another charge move before these counters and the Rock Slide potentially knock out here. Now, it's worth noting the Body Slam is double resisted and Rock Slide is single resisted. So Rock Slide is the better move of the 2 to throw here. Going for the Rock Slide, that's going to knock out this Basti. Goodbye, Wallface. Anytime now. Game wants to work. Man, don't even get me started on the state of the game right now. My goodness. All right, next game, we got a pretty decent lead here into Dragonair, Shadow Dragonair. These Aerial Aces do chunk. As long as you build up to the Ice Beam, and go straight Aerial Ace, you can win this matchup. A shield is somewhat worth it there, only because if you just go straight Aerial Ace, I'm pretty sure that the Mantine can win this matchup. And then you get up to the 7, you get the first shield. Now the opponent's Dragonair is low enough where they may warrant another shield. But now we're coming in with a Goodra for the snipe. Up shield advantage. And in comes the opponent's own Vigoroth in this Great League meta where Annihilate is everywhere. I don't understand how people can do well with Vigoroth, but they are very good at apparently keeping it away from Annihilate. But anyway, you saw that lag there. It was very, very short, but you saw it. And that is once again state of the game coming, you know, full force right now. Video from Ataxin, our world champion. He put that video out. We've all shared it. We've all seen it. And if you haven't seen it yet, I definitely recommend you go check out his channel and just, you know, share that sentiment everywhere. Just put it out. Put it out everywhere you can. Now this, oh my goodness, this is awkward. Mantine comes in with this Gligar now on the field. And Vigoroth could sweep and finish up this game here. Here's the problem. Water Pulse probably doesn't knock out from here. Now, the Vigoroth is going to have a choice to make here. Does it come in now? Or I guess Nerd has a choice to make. Does the Vigoroth come in now or not? It does now. It has to come in because the Mantine would have just been simply farmed down. The opponent goes for the Aerial Ace here. They should have just gone for the Dig, I think. That would have probably been the more efficient play to get more damage before getting taken out. Their Vigoroth is just going to get farmed down as it has no energy, and that's a good game. Well played. Really nice lead in the next game here. We've got a Talonflame on the lead on the opponent's side, and everything on this team has an amazing amount of play into this. Now, we're going for the bait here. I don't mind this because the opponent does have to fear the Water Pulse, and they do, thankfully. And now, because of that overfarm, or not the overfarm, because of the bait, now we have enough energy to be able to pace to the next move. But you're going for the shield just in case. Just in case it's that Brave Bird. I've been hit with Brave Birds before. It's not fun. So, the opponent is showing that they are ABA weak to the Mantine, and in comes Goodra to finish off the Annihilate, and the opponent's Talonflame is now even more scared, because it really truly has nowhere to go. We're going to shield up that Shadow Ball. All shields are down. On Nerd's side, the opponent still holding onto his shield, hoping that they can find a use for it. And then we're going to see the Talonflame come back in, going for this Aqua Tail. That's, again, super effective damage into the Talonflame that they're not going to want to deal with. Aqua Tail is going to get the final shield from the opponent's side, and they are going to go for another Fly here, unless they're rocking that Brave Bird Fly set. They are using Fly, which is totally fine here. We're going to be able to get to this Aqua Tail on charge attack priority. The opponent going for the move right away here, not wanting to try and farm down as they have no shields. But no, that wasn't charge attack priority. Hold on a minute, my counts are off. The opponent came in with a Swampert. Hello? When did that happen? Very, very nice catch by the opponent here. I get wanting to throw the Aqua Tail as soon as we got it, just to guarantee that knockout. But so we're going to see the Swampert get just taken out because in the zeros, the Hydro Cannon or the Earthquake, just one does not knock out. And in comes the Talonflame to meet its demise from the hands of the Vigoroth. Caught the hands and the Body Slam. Good game. We're getting into the next game. This is a not good lead. This is almost as bad as Lantern, dude. This is bad. The opponent's staying in to get some chip damage off with their XehrFelrose here. Vigoroth is going to opt not to shield this move. The opponent comes in with a Wiggly. Oh no, dude. No, well, at least the Wiggly is on the Vigoroth and not on the Goodra. Now, if in hindsight, like looking at this game, we could have gone for 2 counters and then the Rock Slide. That actually would have been enough to knock out there, which is kind of odd. But the opponent deciding not to shield, leaving very little farm for the Mantine, and also very little time for the swap here. The switch clock is coming back up here, thankfully, which means Goodra should be able to land on this XehrFelrose for just a little bit longer before the opponent can swap out, since they decided to stay in and throw that charge move. Opponent is going to go for another move here. It is going to be the Brutal Swing, as they're not going to have anything else that fits within 2 volt switches here. And then in comes Golisopod. This is going to be tricky. They're going for the Thunder Punch. I think that the pacing here might prove to be difficult, But it's going to come down to how Nerd could play this out, because I feel like even landing a Water Pulse against the Ampharos would prove to be fairly effective as long as we can keep the thing alive. Now, we're going to force both shields. No, we're going over for the Aqua Tail. The opponent has to respect the Thunder Punch here. They do. And now, this is going to be close, man. We get to the Aqua Tail. We do. The opponent over farming by too much and gets a little bit greedy there. Gonna take the Aqua Tail. Down goes Golisopod, and Ampharos is gonna come in, and I guess they're just gonna not. Okay, well, I mean, it makes sense. They would have got to the Water Pulse, it would have knocked out, so good game. Next game's a great lead here with Whiscash in the lead. The opponent has a Tentacruel in the back. Have you ever, I mean, there's certain things that I'm very surprised that some trainers are weak to, and I mean, I don't know, man. This doesn't seem like a very good safe swap for a Whiscash, but I could be wrong. This trainer could be running a very strong team that I just haven't been familiar with yet. The Scald is not only going to land, but is going to get the attack drop. I don't know that that was the ideal thing to swap in here. Unfortunately, Vigoroth having a very negative matchup into this Tentacruel. The opponent decides to shield up that Rock Slide, and maybe we just let the Vigoroth go. It's an Acid Spray! Are you kidding me? Grow up, trainer! I hate Acid Spray. Acid Spray is one of the most hated moves in this game. I despise it. But anyway, up a shield. Mantine gets to come in. Lands. Not going to land a move. The opponent had the perfect farm there to get to another move, but it's just an Acid Spray. And now we can... Oh, it was charge attack priority. Oh, that feels so bad. But thankfully it wasn't shielded. The Aerial Ace is going to get out, and then Mantine comes in. And up a shield. Goodra actually seems like it might do very well here. Now, the opponent is going to go straight for their charge move here. Was not able to swap out for some reason. Oh, it's Bubble Beam! We shielded a Bubble Beam! Oh, seriously, dude? Grow up! Bubble Beam and Acid Spray on the same team? What a childish trainer! My goodness, run real moves, trainer, please! Oh, I hate it. I hate it so much. If there's something I hate more than Acid Spray, it's Bubble Beam. Oh, we're wishing we had. We are wishing that we had the Power Whip right now. It always seems to be the case. You know, whenever you want a move that you don't have, it always seems like you don't have it when you need it. But we're going to go for the Aqua Tail here. Not going to be enough damage, unfortunately. But thankfully, all of the moves from the Whiscash are resisted on this Mantine. And Mantine's going to go straight for the Aerial Ace here. So we're going to see the Aerial Ace take out here. And now it's going to be up to... No, unfortunately, down this much energy with frickin' Bubble Beam, dude. This is a Bubble Beam, I guarantee it. Yep. My God, dude. You might have had a chance if you could land like 3 Aerial Aces, but now the opponent's just going to go for... Man, I would quit. I would be... I don't want to give a trainer the satisfaction of winning because they're running Bubble Beam. Oh. Not even well played. Trainer needs to reevaluate some life choices. In the next game, we got a Shiny Gligar on the opponent's side, and Mantine's got a positive matchup here, as we've discussed. The opponent looks to try to swap a little bit too early to catch an Ice Beam or Water Pulse here, and they're going to catch it on this Skarmory, but the thing is that Skarmory really doesn't have any, like, there's no hard check to Skarmory on this team, as everything has pretty neutral play into it in some way, shape, or form. The opponent full sends the Brave Bird! Oh, no! Oh, man. I've never seen a Skarmory do that. That is the ballsiest play by the opponent here. Going for that Brave Bird. Very nicely done. I will give them kudos for that. Was not expecting that. In comes the Mantine, as it will be able to get a nice farm down here on this Skarmory, and probably going to have to shield up another one because that's going to be a Brave Bird. Yep. You got to respect it. They threw it once. They're going to throw it twice. You go ahead and shield that up. Oh, it's a Charge-a-Bug. Oh, stop it. Stop it. Goodra has a really strong amount of play into the rest of this team, however. Having those Aqua Tails for the Gligar, it's just going to become a matter of getting rid of the Charge-a-Bug. And after the Charge-a-Bug's gone, honestly, there's a lot of play on the field here with this Goodra. Now, unfortunately, the Goodra is down a little bit of HP. The Aerial Ace is going to hurt. Going for one Dragon Breath in the Aqua Tail. Very nice timing there on those Dragon Breaths. It can be very tricky to handle. The opponent deciding not to shield here, and they're getting a full farm down, and then Mantine has to put everything else on its back here to try and take this game away from the opponent. I don't know if it's going to be able to do it. One Aerial Ace, okay? Now we're going to go for another Aerial Ace. Gonna have to get a full farm down and land at least... I don't even know if you can get there. Because you need to land 2 moves, and you're just too low now. Oh, no. Surely the win condition was the 1-turn lag and the opponent not getting the Volt Switch through, but they did, and that's going to be a game, unfortunately, here. Well played. Getting into the next game, got Azumarill on the lead. The Blue Bomber itself, Azon Bomberil. Shout out to Shreddy. Miss you, dude. Getting into this here game, we're going to go on 7 for the Aerial Ace here. Perfect timing here as you want to go on 1, 4, or 7, or 10 if you are using a 2-turn move user like Wing Attack into Bubble like 3 turns, right? So now Azumarill is going to go for that Play Rough. It's going to do a sizable amount of decent damage here before we hit the weak connection error for absolutely no reason at all. And Aerial Ace is just going to keep getting sent out here. You really can't swap out. You're really actually quite nice to see the Azumarill here on the lead now. The nice thing is that even if you let this go, something in the back is going to get a ton of farm off this Azumarill because of the resisted damage with his shield and now that farm. And the opponent deciding to also shield, going for 2 moves is perfect. And I'll tell you why, even though it's not normally the timing. If you go for the 2 wing attacks, you don't take the damage from their second fast move before your charge move goes off, which is why that's important. Now, the opponent is going to go for an Ice Beam here. This Vigoroth is going to get a farm that will feed families for days. This farm is going to go so far. It doesn't matter what comes in because everything just about does not care to take this energy unless it's like Steel or something, which, I mean, I would very much expect there to be Steel types with Azumarill in some cases, but typically there's Steel types that, like Registeel or Azumarill, things that you can still hit with a Vigoroth with some HP because the fast move pressure from either of those things is not great. Now, in comes a Bastiodon here. And are we going to end this with a Bastiodon destruction? Oh, we're going for the Aqua Tails here, of course. Excuse me. We're going to see this Aqua Tail go off. We got 2 shields. I don't think any of them are going to get used here, to be honest. The opponent may very well just go for the fast move down and hope that they are going to be able to get to it before Nerd's Pokemon are going to be able to finish off here. Now, getting this 3rd Aqua Tail off at the very last second is huge. That's going to put this thing down in a range where the Vigoroth should be able to easily just pop off a couple of counters. The opponent is going to throw their energy here, deciding to try to burn at least one of these shields. No 2 shield flexes in this house. But the opponent's going to also try to catch a counter on their Venusaur, which does not work. Body Slam going to go off. Just throw the counter here. Body Slam is double resisted. There's a chance that doesn't even knock out because of how bulky that stupid wall face is. But we take the win, and that's going to be a good game. This team has got a lot of strong generalists on it with Mantine. I think that if you were trying to shore up your weakness to Electric, you could probably do something in the back over the Vigoroth instead. Maybe that resists. You could do like a Mud Boy, or you could use Gligar, you know, something that has that electric resist. But I think in general, though, the Vigoroth proved to be pretty effective as long as you keep it away from the Annihilates. And this team, I mean, this team looks pretty strong. So that's going to do it for me for today, guys. Thank you very much for watching the video, and catch you in the next one. Bye-bye.